Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Q&As today. So, I'm going to be asking Natalie the questions that you put up in the group, and hopefully then Natalie gets the joy of answering all your questions today. So, we are open to any questions. So, if you do want to pop them into the comments, I will be manning the comments, and if there's anything you want to see or want to ask, then ask away, and we will do our best to answer all the questions we can.
Hi Zena.
Karis has joined.
Hi Karis.
Why is that not updated? Can you all see me and hear me? Just let me know, because at the moment my... Can you do something with the scanning mat?
Yeah, I can do. What do you like me to do with it?
Morning, Chris. Good afternoon, Chris. Can someone just let me know if you can see it? Yes, is that yes? You can see us and hear us. Okay.
Is it just that you need to?
It's my screen that's having a dense minute.
Yeah.
So give me a second.
Okay.
Aha! There we go. I can see you now.
Do you want to turn that down a little?
Oh yeah, sorry, you've got feet on, haven't we?
Right. So, scan mat. So in terms of storing mats, actually before I do that, very quickly, I thought I'd finish and just show you the finished off card. So we have a card front, habit, and there's our inners to our card. Is that alright? Can you see it? Alright? Because obviously I can't see this now. I'm working kind of backwards.
Up a little bit.
Up a little bit. Wait for the time delay. There we go.
Yeah, across a bit because you've got my mildly mug in the top corner.
I think it's that way.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
There we go. Gosh, it's a lovely cardboard.
Okay, so now that I've shown that, I'll just pop that out of the way for a minute. So, storing mats. Do it on a tray and a hanger. Other brands are available. And especially with your scan mat, you want to make sure that you keep it as flat as possible, either by having it stored totally horizontally with nothing on top, or through having it hung up. With the other mats it's not so important, but your scan mat you definitely want to take good care of.
Reading a book for someone.
What's that, dear?
We've had a question or a comment from Harry, Harry X Donkey on Twitch, saying reading a book for someone with a question mark.
Oh, no, that was a card that we made earlier. Okay, so just going to reach in here for something to scan.
Some more DIY. Okay.
Okay.
What are we scanning?
I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm just going to grab a piece of black card. Body straighten.
Oh, she meant the embossing mat, not scanning mat. So.
I'll do the scanning mat now that I've got it out. Embossing mat, I'll send the in to have a search for in a minute. Okay.
The way you're doing stuff on that, I'll change it to the overhead camera.
Okay.
So I'll swap you over onto Natalie's camera so you can see what Natalie's doing. You should still be able to see Natalie in the top.
Okay.
I think now we can't see scan and cut, so
Okay, so I will try and talk through what you can't see. So into my scan mat, I'm just going to pop a piece of black card and a white die cut. And I have a black die cut, which I'm just going to go straight onto the mat. And the reason I'm doing this is just to show you a couple of the options that we have that you might find make life a little bit easier for you. So usually what they tell you to do in terms of scanning for your scanning cuts, to cut it out of black and then put it on the white and scan it that way. But the trouble is, if your card is thick, you'll find that it almost gets like a shadow behind it. So logically, the better option is actually to go white onto black. Thank you. Just going to load them out. Come on. Come on. At this rate, you've got a clean scanner alive on stream. Okay, clean your scanner. Because the dots are fine.
try one more.
Okay, one more try. And then Ian's going to be doing cleaning scanners. Okay, so live on. There we go. Oh, I posted a picture. If only there was a camera pointing in that direction.
Which is good. Right, so obviously the first thing you do is unplug your scanner, your scan and cut machine, and we're going to move it into the middle so you can see.
And I'll move the scan mat out of the way because we don't want it to get damaged.
Tip it under its noggy. And there we go again, just so.
Yeah. What's my tea? There you go.
Nothing wrong with that scan.
Okay.
Just pass me a bit of cloth.
There you go.
There's our cleaning solution. Hi Sarah Lou. We're doing a Q&A today, so if there are any questions that you want to ask.
I was just about to do the scanning mat, but the scanning cut's misbehaving. So it's going to be cleaned.
So I'm just putting a little bit of cleaning solution on the end here. Just give it a bit of a wipe. So if you do find, like ours there won't load, 9 times out of 10 it is your scan mat, or your scan bar, sorry, not your mat. So it's always worth giving it a bit of a wipe. To be honest, it hasn't been that long since I've cleaned it. And it's in pretty good condition, to be honest. So I put the bar back in.
Flip it over.
Put it on the floor for me. Carefully turn it over. And again. Pop it back in its loo. Plug it back in. Yeah, we're going on the naughty stuff.
Won't be the first time today, would it? There. Which is the proof that it can be the tiniest little speck that will upset it. So, I'm going to go to scan. Scan to cut data because we're using our scan map. This map will not work with a direct cut. And I'm going to go black and white because we're going for 2 high contrast items.
What's it doing?
I've done the little branch with the hearts on.
What's the machine doing?
Oh, recognising.
Ah.
Okay, so when you've done that, it comes up with 3 options. One where it goes all the way around the outside of the shape and ignores all the internal detail. One where it goes round both the outside and the inside. And one where it treats it as a drawing line. So it takes our thin branch and just literally puts a line straight through the middle of it. Okay, so that's what the 3 options are for. And for this one, because I've got some internal areas here, I'm going to go for that, for the middle option. And resize my arrows because I just want to do it so that I just have one at a time. So I'm going to resize this to my little labyrinth. Okay, and I'm going to preview it. I'm going to save. And for now I'm going to save it to the machine.
Oh, you got space?
Yeah. And it's number 52 because it always saves it with a number. So it does get confusing after a while. Okay, and once you've done that, then we can go to the top one. And it's just off the map there, so I might bring it back down and redo that one in a bit. Because it can't see around the outside. So we'll see how it goes. Going back to our branch with our hearts on. Okay, preview. And it will basically rejudge for this. And it can see all the elements. No, not really. Go for the middle one because we've got this section here. And we can go save and again save to
They
the
can't
mat.
see you. Can't see you.
We were planning on doing scanning for this one, were we? That's a bit precarious.
Yeah, let's rearrange that one.
Okay, bear with us a moment. Wait for it to sort itself out, Ian, because it's whirring. Try again. You locked everything else, yeah?
I just lock this one, can't move it. Stupid.
There we go. Okay, so what I was saying is, this top one here goes around the outside of your design. But if you have any elements of your design that are like holes in the shape, you need to be using this second one. Okay. Then when you're happy, you can go to save and choose where to save it from. So although I've already saved this one, so I'll just do it again just so you can see it.
Save it to the cloud.
Okay. So when we select this one, it basically follows it as sort of individual shapes rather than keeping it as one. Okay. So I'm going to go home. I'm going to unload the mat. So I'm going to take these little pieces out. And Ian has very kindly brought in the embossing mat. Before I go too far, I'm just going to slide that in and put it back on it because I don't want my scan mat to get damaged. Thank you, Ian. Try to cook it a little bit. There we go. Okay, so the embossing mat is basically just an adhesive mat that I've applied some craft foam to, and you want to have something that isn't too thick. Do you want to go for some of the trying to think, not too thick. Actually, I know what I can do. I've got some here. Let's go for this one.
I do try and be, Carol. I do try and be.
What, helpful?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for... You want something that's fairly plain to be able to see this.
So you can see the bit of the embossing mat there for a moment, just so you can see.
Okay, so basically this mat is not sticky. So this is one of the few times that you'll see me actually tape what I'm working on.
Can you close the top and move that to the top so we can see, because we can't see your...
Okay, I'll turn it round. Okay, is that better? So
Yeah.
I'm just going to tape it. You want to try and get it as straight as possible, obviously.
Tracy's joined us now, and Julie, and Gwyneth, and Terry.
Hello, 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 hello.
And Tracy got distracted. That's all right, Tracy.
Can you just see if my little black embossing tool's in there for me? Because I know that one fits.
Actually, who have you had?
I do. Yeah, that'll do.
How do you run that? Might be down there too.
Okay. Even though this will fit in the other pen holder, I happen to have this one still on my desk, so I'll use this one.
So So Natalie's just doing some embossing with the scanning cut using her homemade embossing mat.
So it's just any sticky mat will do that you have left over. So if you happen to foil one and you need to re-stick it, it's a good way of reusing an old mat that's been a bit battered, because you want to actually adhere this as much as possible to this base. Okay, that should be okay. Next trick, getting it to load. Try that again, it's just slightly off. Go. No. Come on.
Should have taken the first one.
Yeah. Tell you what, go this way.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Probably just needs it needs an nail file on it. So like we did yesterday.
So I'll just bring it down so you can see the screen, so you can see what Natalie's doing.
Okay. So just because it's just lifting slightly, it's obviously time for it to have a re-tack. I'm just going to use...
Can you use embossing tools that you use for parchment?
Yes. I'm using a cheap nail art set from Poundland, even though I have some Pergamano tools sat here on my desk. So anything with a round ball tip will do. And if you want to use that old empty biro, you can use that too.
Jay says, so what have I missed? Because that sounds cool. You haven't missed that much, Hosty, you're okay.
Old cutting mat, craft foam.
Yeah, and we did a little bit of scanning first, just to get through the scanning settings.
Yeah.
So it's like a with the scanning mat though.
And I'm just sticking a little bit of tape, just because my mat's like to lift a little. Okay, so next I'm going to go to pattern, and we can go to save data, and we can go to the machine. I'm going to go up, and let's go for that one. Okay, and we're going to do a background scan. There it is, attaching. Okay, so we can see that our design is nowhere near our map.
I have felt, would that be okay? Yeah, 'cause that's only felt,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm just going to pop this down. I'm
Would
going
you
to
put
go a bit bigger.
A couple of layers of felt.
No, to be honest, probably just one layer of felt would be plenty. It's basically just enough of a cushion for your tool to go into. Okay. And I want to go roughly in the middle. What's that?
Zena saying she wishes hers was a felt pool.
No comment. Okay, so I've just rotated that round because obviously we're now working sideways. I'm going to go OK, and OK again, and then I'm going to go OK. Now, if you have the embossing kit at this point, you could go into your embossing and then go to line emboss, like so. Or you can use my method and use draw as well, because it doesn't matter what you put in that pen holder. Okay, so if we were to go to emboss as well, should we try it? See, let's have a play, shall we? I won't do it the way I usually do it. I'll see what it comes up with. It'll probably go, you haven't got the right matting.
What all? usually say cutting or drawing or...
Yeah, now it's operating.
Major surgery.
This is going to be so subtle. So subtle. This is going to be fun to try and get to pick up on camera. It's funky. It's very, very funky.
What is in the pen holder? It is a cheap...
Yep, cheap 3 in a pack
nail
art tool. There we go. I like that.
It needs the embossing set.
Yeah. Okay, so take off your mat first, and then if I tilt it to this camera here.
Let me swap the camera back
tell you what,
over.
you tell me here. Ian.
Let me swap the camera back over because it gets a better picture if it's on the
Okay.
other camera. So let's put it on that camera.
So up a bit, up. Right bit.
That should be about centre. You can just make it out.
You can see it more in real life, I have to say. From what I can see on there, but I'll see.
Yeah, see this one you can see it quite...
There we go, if I do it there.
Yeah, let's put that out of the way a second. Cause...
Hopefully that's coming through okay.
Yeah.
And then what I did when I did it was I got a little bit of pastel chalk on my finger and just literally just lightly go over the top, and you'll pull that detail out more. So can you just grab me that front palette? It won't be exactly the right colour, but it'll be enough to bring it out on camera.
Helping hands again.
Yeah, good old helping hands. So let's go for that one.
Yeah. Joe says you can just see it, your mum says you can see it.
If I just bring it in. So I've done a little tiny bit on there. I'll just wait for it to wake up. Can you see that? Go a bit dark,
Up a bit.
actually.
So you need a little bit higher because we've got it.
Okay, I'll do a little bit more, just so it's not aiming for such a small area.
Yeah, you need it a little bit higher because obviously you're zoomed in a bit on the screen.
But you really need the lightest touch because you only want to catch the raised sections. That really does go a long way with these, so there you go.
Up a bit. You had to hold back a bit, yeah. Just wait for that to update onto the screen so we can see. That's better.
So hopefully you can see that now.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
while I'm here and waiting for the next question, I'm going to finish this off because I have an idea for what I'm going to use this for later.
Yeah.
Because I had a card project that I started with this.
Michelle's just joined, so afternoon Michelle. We are doing a Q&A, so if there are any questions that you'd like to ask Natalie, then please ask away.
I'm just going to finish it off so we've got a bit more of a completed design.
It looks like a maze, but yeah, it's a labyrinth type piece, wasn't it? It's the
yeah.
that you scanned in.
So that is basically that die cut there. So hopefully there-ish. Hang on.
Hold it there.
Up a bit. There we go.
That's not bad, yeah.
Okay.
Froze on the screen. Just try refresh on your screen if it's frozen a little bit because it does. It did to me earlier. So just do a
Control R.
F5.
Command R.
F5 do it to PC.
Does Control R not work on a PC anymore?
No.
Oh, that's good now.
F5 to refresh.
my finger up a bit.
Peter's joined us as well.
Okay. So I'm just going to pop off the washi tape.
Have you thought of a way to do foil die cut pieces already cut by the scan and cut?
Oh, with the Go Press? Not yet. Not yet, because you need to have some way of creating your own plates. So at the moment the better option for that is still either laser printing before you cut, or using the foil quill actually in the machine.
Camera's saying my back. I mean, that's the other way, isn't it? If you did like you did with that scan, if you die cut something and wanted to foil it.
Yeah, you could make your foil quill.
Yeah, you can make your foil quill draw around
do the work for
so
you.
do
yeah.
Let's
just blend that bit so it's not quite so.
scan your die cut pieces so it's on the. So you put it on your screen and recognise, and then scan it, and then once you've got it on your screen, line it up and put your foil quill in, put some foil over the top, and do it that way. That way you could foil your die cut pieces. But just a thought. Carol asked what is laser printing?
What is laser printing?
In regard to foiling or just
in general? In general. We'll go nice and general for laser printing. Laser printing is a different way of putting colour down on a page. So whereas your home inkjet printer sprays ink through nozzles to build up a picture, with laser printing it actually melts toner onto your paper. Now the benefit of that comes when you want to do foiling, because you can then run it through a laminator. The laminator melts the toner, which then becomes sticky to get the foil off the sheet. So that's basically how foiling with a laser printer works. It's a bit of an investment to get into, but once you do, it's actually more cost effective than an inkjet.
Yes. Your laser printer will print anything up to 1,000 sheets per toner.
Yeah.
Cartridge.
And some go higher.
Yeah, some go a lot higher. Hi Sarah. Another Sarah to join as well.
Cool.
So we are doing a Q&A session, Sarah, so if there are any questions that you want to ask me or Natalie, then please do ask.
Yeah.
And we're doing our best to answer as we go.
Shall I do Tracy's question next?
Yeah, if you do Tracy's question from the earlier session of what
So
inspired
Tracy, I was going to say, Tracy, do you want to do it in your own words rather than us paraphrasing for you?
I can't remember, that was this morning. I slept since then.
I wasn't far off.
Do you know much about sublimation, Natalie?
Who asked the question?
Tracy.
Tracy. I know a little bit, but did you say Michelle's online?
Not that Michelle.
Not that Michelle. In the group there's a lady called Michelle Schofield, and she would be able to tell you far more about sublimation than I can. I can tell you a way of getting into it by converting an Epson or something similar, but the difference being Michelle actually has a full setup at the moment, as far as I know.
Yes. Next question. Or any more questions?
Before I get started on Tracy's humongous question.
No. I have to sit back a bit as well because we're...
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to see the comments and I'm like, gotta behave.
Stop being nosy. I'll tell you what they say.
Oh dear.
Come on, I'm going to answer
The biggie. Well, come on, host, then ask the question.
Twice now. So Tracy asked earlier in the, I say morning session, it was the evening session for her, as to where Natalie gets her inspiration from, and if you use things like Pinterest or Instagram for your inspiration, or if it's just plucked out of thin air like it usually is.
And the reason I say it's going to be a biggie is because it's kind of a multi-answer to that question. So yes, I do lots of Instagramming and Pinterest, and you can find my Pinterest boards quite easily on Pinterest. So yeah, I'm a bit of a pinner, but that tends to be more so, I think, for, how can I describe it? Almost OCD, I think. So yeah, I do like to go on social media, but I don't tend to use that as a direct inspiration as such. I'm more likely to go through the route of either working with a particular product or working with a technique. So usually a lot of the projects start of, I wonder if I can do that. Quite a lot with the scan and cut, actually. Whether I can make it do things that I've either not seen other people do.
Okay, right. So it says the sound just gone. So.
Oh no. I'll wait until you're back then, Sarah.
Rather than trying to tell her to do it manually, because there's no point in me trying to tell her.
Yeah.
Kate's joined us as well. We have a couple more questions as well. So.
Okay, so finishing off, I tend to do it more so on techniques. I'm a bit like Jennifer Maguire in that sense. You know, I'd rather do 5 projects that kind of focus on a particular technique to get that right, or it stems from a product for review.
Okay. So going to Sarah's question quickly. I'm just going to load my embossing kit. Any advice on that, please? No, you can't say that.
With your embossing kit, I don't actually have one, which is why I found a different way of doing it. I find that with a lot of the brother kits, you're paying for access to the files rather than what's actually in the kit, and I don't honestly find that much value in the files. I don't tend to use them very much in my projects, so it's just how I work. I mean, other people will work totally differently and will have cut every shape on their machine. I just haven't. I tend to do a lot more design work before I move to the scan and cut for starters. Although I will admit I do download an awful lot of stuff from design bundles that sits there and waits for me to get around to doing it. So that might be next week. Tackle a folder a day.
Carol's asked, with regard to the embossing, can you scan in a picture from a magazine to emboss?
It depends on the picture. You could scan in a template and do it, but in terms of converting pictures, you're better off using something like Adobe Capture to actually do that conversion for you, or there are sites on the internet that can do it. And if you're really desperate, you can try Inkscape to do it.
And Tracy's put a comment on saying you make it look so easy. Very impressive.
Oh, I should do by this point, because I've been using electronic cutters for the best part of 20 years now.
And Julie's joined us as well.
Hello! So today we're having a bit of a question and answer session for those that have just joined. So whether you're watching on Twitch, YouTube or Facebook, you can pop up a question in the comments and we will be able to see it.
Did you want to ask the question, Tracy, regarding the sublimation? We might know the answer.
You can convert certain types of printers to do it. You don't have to invest in a
She already does it apparently.
fancy.
So she had a question, but
Okay. If it's about colour profiles and things like that, I can answer it. That's the side of it I come from.
oh, excuse me, having a drink. Let me just check I haven't missed any questions. No, not yet.
Sublimation is one of those things I'd like to get into, but
Don't have
it's
the time.
justifying the space, the time.
That's another printer, isn't it, for us?
Yeah, it's
We've
another
already got-
printer, which means that it's another set of inks to buy, and
Yeah, we just have our laser, don't we? Which we
we
Use a
do
lot.
like our laser.
have our laser printer.
So the laser printer that we have is a Canon LBP7.
110 CW.
Yeah, there you go.
He's just reading it off the top.
That's just cheating.
No, the question was more about activating the ink using a heat gun instead of a heat press.
Ooh, you can. I know you can do it on mugs and things, but to be honest, people tend to try and do it with like the mini irons instead on something like that.
It's like the encaustic one that you've got.
Yeah, like the little encaustic ones or the little quilters ones, but no steam, obviously.
It's a friggin' huge printer.
If you get purpose-built sublimation printer, yeah, they are huge.
Aren't they expensive, the laser printers? They don't have to be. The one we got, I think we paid just over £100 for.
It was just under 200 for it.
Did we pay that much for it in the end? Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Because it's a colour one.
It's a colour one, yeah, so it's not just black and white, it's a full colour.
Yeah, if all you're ever going to do with it is foiling, get a black and white one.
Yeah, and you can pick those up around £50–60.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they don't have to be an expensive one. But like I said, if you just print in black and white, they will last forever. You'll get a good 1,000 prints out of each cartridge, or toner, I should say, rather than cartridge. Okay, Sarah, I asked the other day about writing inside of the card. I can do this easily on the Cricut, but just can't get to grips with the scan and cut.
Okay, so with your scan and cut, I'll go home.
Do you want me to flick it to
Yes, please, if you can.
that one, I think. So just flip the camera around so you can see what Natalie's doing on the scan and cut.
Okay. So I'm going to go to pattern. And I'm just going to set up a shape. Portrait. And let's say that, because that's roughly about A6, very roughly. Very, very roughly. I'm going to bring it into the map. If we go to add and go to text, the trouble is with these fonts, unless you have a DX, the DX does have some single line fonts, but the problem with these is that you'll end up drawing around your letter, and it also can't handle more than one line, so I'm trying to think of a verse off the top of my head. Oh, thank you, yes, that would help. You've got that caught down the cable?
Yeah,
Oh. I'll get Ian to show you the book in a minute as well. Go for something that's got like 2 lines to it here.
that's what
Nothing
I was
too
looking
long.
for, yeah.
Hey, give me a paragraph to type, please.
Go on,
Pass it to see. But quicker. Okay. I'm going to go for that one just because I think it's cool. I'm just going to type. Oh, actually, while I'm here, I can show that too. So if I take my caps lock off. Okay, so my first line is there is only one. Now, if we wanted to do multi-line at this point, we can't because there's no return key, so we have to go OK. We have to remember this figure up here and then go set. Then we'll have to add another one. So what you want to do is add your text each time, and this is why I don't like it. And then group it and then do it, but it's easy to see when it's let's go like that. So remember it was 3.5 before, so we're going to go 3.5 again. In the can't type today. In the world again down to the 3.5. And every other. Okay. So we're going to have to go back because it won't let us go up to the 3.5. Okay, down to the 3.5. And every other has it. Okay, and bring that down to the 3.5. Now this is where I get annoyed because this is going to come down here, and now we have this dangling one here, but there's no easy way of then getting that to go to the next line and so forth, which is why I always say you're better off doing it in Canvas first and then sending it to the machine. But I wanted to show you why I say that.
Sorry, changing the subject a little bit. Well, not changing it a little bit. Possibly elaborating a little bit on, I think, Sarah's question of if you'd got a card that's pre-scored. So you know the size of your card and you want to write the text on the inside of that card.
Yeah.
Is it just a case of working out which way to put your card onto the map to make it right in the right place?
Yeah, I'm doing your background scan always.
Yeah, because obviously you have to remember that the machine will only write it the way you tell it to.
Yes.
So if you have to put your card upside down to get to the right piece of card on your mat, then remember you also have to turn your text around so it writes it.
So let's say you're using an 8x8 inch card when folded. Okay, so you'd have to use that sideways on the mat, and I did this the other day on one of the things that we were doing, didn't I? And basically, so you put it so it's vertically, so it dangles off the end of the mat, and then you turn your text or whatever you're doing sideways to be right. But when I'm designing it in the first place, I'll do it in an 8x8 square and do it that way, the right way up, because otherwise you'd be going like this all the time. Getting a crick in the neck.
Does that help, Sarah? Tracy says, because I have a heat press, but because it's the only printer I have, sometimes I just want to do a print and cut. So I don't want to put it under the heat press to make the colours pop, if that makes sense.
Okay, if you just want to do a print and cut, a bit like what we did with the boxes, you're probably better off getting a separate printer, just because of the cost of the inks, I would have thought. But we did that print and cut project, although it's quite a big box if you want to pass it down, for those that haven't seen it.
Do you want me to flick it back?
So although it's quite a big box, that was just done on an A4 printer. So.
And Sarah says yes, thank you.
What I will do, Sarah, is I will show you how to do it in Canvas as well. Probably tomorrow, just because of swapping over setups and things.
Yep.
So you can do that in A4, and the only way that you're then limited is in terms of your width this way.
Okay. Any more questions? I've got time for a couple more if anybody else has a question.
Yeah, so Sarah, if you want to join us at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, if you can just let me know that you can make that one, I will do some work with verses.
Sit back.
Sorry, it's habit. I'm used to being.
Got a chair you can sit back on. Sit back on it.
Yeah, slowly getting used to the fact that I can actually sit back and it's not going to go on me.
Sarah says yes, that would be great, thank you.
Okay, cool.
So, there you go, that's tomorrow's 11 o'clock for you.
Very quickly, in case you're wondering where I got the quote from, it's a little die cuts review quote book. I think there were 4 of them in the series. I don't know what's happened to the other 3 though. They're lost somewhere in the move. So and they're quite good. They have a little CD at the back with all the different quotes on, so you don't have to type it, and you get lots of different ones, and you can see which ones I like because I put little asterisks next to them to go, do that one. There we go.
Got that down there. Tracy says she got no other questions, thank you. Did you want to say a little bit about magazine?
I'll let you do that, host. You're the hostess with most of this.
Nah, go on, you've got the better camera. So.
Oh, okay.
Which one do you want? You've done both.
I'll do them both. So, in case anybody hasn't seen, I'll move my tea out of the way. In case anybody hasn't seen our 2 lovely books that we've done. So, going this way. So I'll start off with this one. So is that middle shot?
Probably not, because
okay, so
you didn't look.
it has just a little bit in it. So we have projects. If you're getting into doing your design work, we have little sheets for drawing. We have things like inking techniques, watercolour techniques, as well as the scan and cut. So it's not just the scan and cut book, this one. So we've even got like 3D projects as well as tips for getting started. So if you literally got your machine out of the box, that one's quite good. And then we go into embellishing. So we have foiling, we have embossing, we have pressure embossing, which is what we've done today. Okay. Then after that one was so successful, we went, alright, okay. So I finally did my getting started with the scanning.
Closer to you.
Bit closer to me. There we go. So this is book number 1, and number 2 is currently in process. which is going to be all about drawing with vectors, and then I'm going to go and do mixed media one after that, so we get a bit closer back to this format for the third one. Okay, so in this one, I won't flick through too much, don't want to ruin the surprise for people, but we have about the blades, mats, the different menus, so we go through both DX and CM models in this one, and we do both versions of Canvas, so we do Canvas online and desktop. We've done a helpful shortcut sheet, and if you look at the page before that, there's a little tab point there, so if you've got some post-it note tabs you can just attach it there and you've got a quick reference point for your shortcuts. Then we go through doing first steps in Canvas, creating your first projects, any issues that you might have when you're doing it, and how to fix them, more importantly. And then we go through machine editing shapes, right through to drawing, cutting, fabric. It's all in here.
Both of those are available on Amazon, and if you go onto our group, there is a link on there, isn't there?
Yep, for both books.
For both books. If any of you are interested, you're more than welcome. Anything else?
No, I'm waiting for questions. I'm quite happy to wait.
Are there any other questions that we haven't answered or anybody would like answered?
There's no such thing as a doubt question.
No? They've all been directed at you today.
Mm. Yeah, but we didn't ask for questions for you.
No.
If you want to ask any questions, you can do.
Yeah, you can.
Or if there's anything crafty wise you want to ask as well. So it's not just scan and cut. Scan and cut's probably about 30% of what I do.
Mm.
Even though it's 100% of what I'm known for.
So I enjoyed your the mixed media craft along. Your votes counts. That was cool.
Yeah. So we'll have to
do another one of those.
I have to do another one, and I already have part of the mixed media book done as well. I feel like juggling. And we still want to do the back issue book. So
If there's no other questions,
go on, there must be something.
nobody talking to us.
No. Don't want to know background or anything like that. Nope.
Tracy goes, okay, I have one. Go on then.
We're waiting.
Yeah, anticipation's killing us. Do you always cut your dies on a die cutting machine?
Yes.
Oh, that's a tough one. What is your most favourite craft to do if you had to choose one?
What's your most favourite?
Craft to do if you had to choose one.
Scrapbooking. So anything that's involving kind of page layouts, and which I always thought was a bit of a busman's holiday being a graphic designer by trade. So but yeah, it's still my favourite thing to do. I don't get to do enough of it, and I'm well behind. We have boxes full of photographs that are waiting to be scrapbooked. So I'm certainly guilty of that one. And I was planning to do loads of scrapbooking this week, and it's just not happening. I'm still waiting to do my wedding album, and that was 10 years ago. This is November coming. So I really should just knuckle down and get it done.
And you have a platinum, is it?
Yes, Spellbinder Platinum.
Over there in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's got nice big plates. That's why we like that one. So we can use all the journaling dies in it.
Can you get the effect of stitch lines on the scan and cut?
Yes. You just set it to a long dash and set it to cut. In terms of getting the line for it, you just do an offset in Canvas Workspace to the inside and keep the original line. Go on. What's the next one? I can't see from here.
That's just saying you should do that while you're doing a class. It will teach us and help you too. So you can do some scrapbooking in a class in one of the one of your streams.
Yeah, I think I might have to do that just to catch up. Because do you want to show the box of photos? This is just one of the boxes. I say Ian's got to show it because I can't even lift it.
Sarah says she knows the feeling. Still haven't started my twin girls albums and they're 21 this year.
Ooh.
Not that far behind yet.
Yeah, oddly enough, the pictures with the kids are probably the one thing that they do tend to get scrapbooked more than anything else.
Sarah Pack asked, oh great, do you use the knife blade? I think for the stitch line.
Yeah. Yeah. The only time I might change that is if I'm going to be doing like inking and things. So then I might use either the erasing tool if I'm doing coloured pencils, or I might use a pen if I'm going to be getting inky.
Can I put this on your desk?
Yeah, you can put it on my desk. I wasn't expecting you to get squished under the weight of it. So this is just a small collection.
Let's rearrange the camera a bit.
Yeah, so we have...
Let me just swap the camera for you and you can have a look at our...
I mean, this gives some idea as to how old some of these photos are. These are APS cartridges.
These are not film, yeah.
No, there's some of those, and some of that somewhere in here. So yeah, we have boxes like that to do, and yeah, we're well and truly behind. I mean, I even have like panoramic ones, and if Becky's watching, she's going to hate me because I wouldn't say I was a little behind, but Becky is now 23, 24, 25, 23, 24, 25.
She's not watching, so don't worry. I'm sure your mum could answer that one for you, but no.
Yeah, so just a little bit behind.
Yes, wow is, yeah, there's a lot of photos in there.
So we're well and truly.
Is that my Lucy there?
Yeah. Yeah, Luke, which one would you like? Would you like that one?
That's the embarrassing. Those are my three kids who
I mean, if you really want to go for R Factor, Jamie.
And that one, God, that baby one, this one. That's Jamie in the middle.
Yeah. I know that, darling.
No, but, so, is that... I can't see if that's on camera or not.
We're going overhead, aren't we?
Yeah. There we go. So those three troublemakers are mine. Turn it around the other way, it looks better.
Which way? that way. So.
That's right, it's upside down. It's my fault, I had it upside down. So the one in the middle is Jamie, and he's my youngest, and he's now 13. And that was taken when he was probably his first birthday, I would have thought.
So yeah, we're just a tad behind, so
yes.
we'll probably be catching up at least at some point on stream. But you can see, even then I was like being arty and going, alright, I need an out of focus shot to go in the background when they're out.
You've got to move that to get off your desk.
Depends if anybody's going to ask any questions. I think otherwise I might just go through there for tomorrow.
No, I'll move that.
Yeah, they are so cute. Nice little moles.
We do, because they're in Leicester and we're in Worcester, and it's miles away.
Yeah, miles away and we can't get to them.
We talk over video.
Oh, it's only the iPad.
It's only the iPad, that's alright. I can think of worse things to knock over. Yeah.
Yeah, my teeth.
Yes, they do grow up very fast. Yeah. Any other questions?
We originally started with plans though, that's why it's called Plan and Craft.
Yeah, nobody asked where you got the name from.
Yeah, we used to do a lot of planner layouts, and that's originally how we started. It was all about being organised, which, yeah.
Do you need a USB if you have a Wi-Fi machine?
USBs help in terms of organisation. So while it's great having Wi-Fi and you can virtually have a never-ending supply of storage, what isn't so great is when you're then trying to find something. So I must admit, I do like to try and keep USBs separate for purposes.
Yes.
Doesn't always work though.
But if you are using a USB with your machine, please get yourself an extension cable. They're not expensive, you don't have to spend a lot of money on them, but they'll protect your USB port on your machine.
Yeah.
And if you break the USB port on your machine, it does get hot if you leave USBs in them, which they tell you it doesn't, they do. Take it from experience, trust me, they do. And just be careful if you do, with a USB cable in your machine, an extension cable, it's going to save your machine, because if you break the port on your machine, you look at it on your machine, and depending on which one you've just bought, you know, if you're looking at the new ones, you're looking £500-600 investment that you've just spent, and it's knackered within seconds. As if it's a cable, at the most you should pay for it is £5, and you know, it's £5 to replace it if it burns out. And it'll only be the cable that breaks, it won't be the machine then. So always worth the investment.
Yeah, and once lockdown ends, we'll actually have some in stock, won't we? So
we have a couple.
We have a couple.
Here. Yeah, but
what was that?
I think Spacebar's broken. So okay, great. Zena's ordered an extension leading it's coming today. Well done, Zena. Do you get a separate one for each file?
No, I tend to do it by types of files. So, for instance, I'll group them by class if I can help it. I tend to keep a separate one for updates as well, just because when we're teaching classes, obviously we can have any machine in that room, so we try to always have at least one USB that has all of the updates for each machine actually on it, so we can just literally go up to any machine, stick it in the USB port, tell it to go.
Yes, you can. The CMs, you can make it do a manual update when you load your USB stick in, if you press and hold the map load button as you turn it on, it will put it into update mode, and it will be able to do a manual update if you want to. Let's turn that camera back around.
And sometimes if it starts to act a bit odd, that can be a good way of fixing it.
Apologies, the camera's just going to go a bit mad in a minute because I pressed the wrong button. So. There it goes. And there it goes again. Switch it back to the right one. Sit back a bit.
Sorry. sorry.
Any further questions?
Pen holders. We haven't done pen holders. Because we
No
did
disaster.
say you did say you were going to do a separate video, but you haven't, have you?
Not yet. Sarah Pax says thank you. That's okay.
Do you want to do pen holders quickly in, or?
I'll do a separate feed on them,
Okay.
and I'll set it up so we got the right cameras for it as well, because it's all a bit dodgy with the cameras, isn't it, today?
Okay.
I'll set it up for one part that side. Excuse me. Any more questions? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. So we don't have any more questions. If there is anything we haven't answered, have a look back on our previous videos. There are lots and lots of previous videos. We have some on the group. We have some on the Plancraft page, and we have some more on the wall, on just on Natalie's wall. Do have a look. Have a look through. There's there's probably nearly 60 videos now.
And the rest.
Yeah, and the rest, there's lots. So most of them are on YouTube. I'm trying to upload them to YouTube slowly. The ones that aren't up there. All the ones off the group are on YouTube, and some of the Plancraft page ones are up there as well.
And all the ones on
since we've been on Natalie's page are on YouTube as well. So
and
the
on
only
Twitch.
ones, yeah, and on Twitch briefly while they last on Twitch. So if anybody just wants to watch those, please go and have a look.
Join the Discord server.
Yeah, we have a Discord server that's sat answering questions as well. So if you have any questions when we're not online, you can post them in the Discord group.
Machine.
Yeah, issues with your machine, anything like that. There's lots of hashtags on there. There's one for the live streams. There's one for just general questions.
Machine issues,
yeah, machine
software
issues, anything like that. So if you do want to join that, you're more than welcome.
And you can type or you can talk. So we have video enabled on it as well, I believe.
Yep, so we can do video chats as well if you need to, if you want us to have a look. Also, if there's problems with your computers, I also offer a TeamViewer option where I can have a look at your computer for you, which we don't charge for any of this, by the way. And it's all, we're just doing it to help. So if there's something we can help for you, if you're having issues, then just drop us a message on either Discord or on Facebook, and we'll try and help best we can. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Sarah. Anything else? Done?
The only thing I haven't mentioned is buy me a coffee.
Yes. Okay. Can't leave it to the end, but yep. There is on our Facebook page. Is it on the group or is it on yours? Or?
It's on the group.
On the group. There's a little orange button that says "Buy me a coffee." It's optional. We don't expect you to do it. We're grateful if you do.
Very grateful.
Yes. As we know, a few of you have. But if you do,
find the videos useful.
Find the videos useful. It helps us keep going a little bit during these difficult times, obviously. And it's £3, I think, to buy a coffee. It's huge amounts. But again, it's there if you want to use it. Like I said, we don't expect you to. We don't ask you to. It is purely there if you want to and you find these videos helpful or useful. So I think we're going to say cheerio for today.
Yeah, because we're on 3 and we have peak coming
Yeah, Pete's coming up at 4 o'clock with his maker card to make up for yesterday's. Bless him. And we'll be back tomorrow at 11 and we'll be doing the text inside a card.
Yep.
For Sarah. So
And
we're back at 11
we might do some scrapbooking
in the afternoon.
Yep.
Yep.
Friday morning we are still pondering whether we will be doing a stream or not at 11 a.m. Obviously there will be the 2 minute silence and we will do some type of video for that to begin with.
Yep.
Like we did for the
1 minute
silence earlier last week.
Yes. So obviously this week's bank holiday weekend. So
yeah, so officially it's bank holiday, so let us know if you would like us to stream or not. So if you're going to be here, great, let us know, and we're happy to do it.
Yep.
But if you're going to be busy doing other things, having a barbecue in the back garden, or
yeah, depending what the weather's like, because at the moment we've got glorious clear blue sky and sunshine.
Glorious
So
clear blue sky, and I can't get outside.
yeah, we're stuck in a second floor flat, but never mind. Anyway, so thank you all very much, and we shall hopefully see you all tomorrow.